I need a break. Oh! Oh!
MrBeast is begging YouTubers to save him.
Story to come out of YouTube this year was obviously
them
the stain on
allegations is
MrBeast's
getting a little
reputation,
allegation
or I
in
guess
this,
I
bro.
should say
You know what I'm saying?
stains. This man was getting hit from every direction, from ex-employees to ex-girlfriends and business partners. Obviously, the most glaring of the allegations were the ones levied against his lifetime best friend Chris, who was on the channel since it began.
Why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler?
They all made
And
up?
if that did not have the situation looking dire enough, an unknown YouTuber named Dogpack would come out with his expose series, where he basically said everything about the MrBeast brand is fraudulent.
I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay? Thank you, enjoy the video.
From the challenges to the content in the videos, and even the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson, painting the picture that he is a sociopath who lies to his audience for fame, money, and clicks.
I will show you irrefutable evidence in a minute that his videos are, in fact, fake.
But despite all of the drama and the various allegations, that entire situation has really come and gone, and the Beast brand has essentially weathered the storm without really having to answer to any of it, besides when someone said the Lunchly was molding.
I like my cheese drippy, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry guys, I stand corrected. He did say that he hired a team to do an internal investigation, where millions of documents and messages were apparently looked at and analyzed. And can you guys believe this? In their own investigation against themselves, they found that they did nothing wrong. Or more than likely, nothing worthy of a conviction. And they go on to blame their alleged misconduct on Jimmy being young and naive when he started the MrBeast channel.
I thought they discontinued the Lunchlies. I thought they like took them off the shelves, but like at my job, bro, they got like hella Lunchly to twin. Hella, there's one that's like at the top of the shelf, bro. I'm talking about top. And it's like a
with them being a company being run by someone without experience, how could they know any better? Is the narrative that they're sticking to,
good, bro?
adding that they would be firing anyone who was doing bad shit and hiring a ton of new checks and balances in their company. Also in the statement, they explicitly addressed the man behind the Dogpack channel, Dawson French, saying they basically wanted him to cease and desist the name out of his mouth and stop making this video series. And this really leads me into the topic of today's video, because ever since he dropped that first nuke on MrBeast's head, this guy Dawson has been doing a whole lot. And now he himself is actually being exposed. But to truly understand his expose, you have to know that Dawson made these two other videos about Jimmy's employees, and I actually did not cover these other videos, but he made some serious allegations against several people involved in the Beast Empire without the greatest proof. After this, Dawson would continue to call MrBeast out on other social platforms and do collaborations with this girl Rosanna, who was really on the MrBeast is a shit person train before the allegations really came to light. In fact, at this point, I would call her the conductor of this entire thing.
The perfect response for Jimmy at this point.
They just being haters.
I really hope.
So they just being haters. She bad, but she being haters. She just being a hater. Like, so the allegations were basically non-existent. And then they just, okay.
That he would take accountability for the decisions that he made and be honest. He's already broken that trust. And if you don't have honesty, you don't have trust. And how am I supposed to forgive somebody if they're not even being honest?
And so they linked up to collab on more MrBeast topics, and they've really kept their foot on his neck, even reporting him to the fucking FBI. I mean, you had people out here praying to God, like, please never send me an op like her.
This is molded. That's mold.
And honestly, I think this guy Dawson was loving his newfound glory online and really relishing in his role in a story that mirrors David versus Goliath. But over time, he made some key mistakes. He was putting a lot of unfounded claims out to the public and drawing some less than unbiased conclusions.
The allegations are false, but okay, so essentially it's just everybody's hating on MrBeast just for being a good person. But some of the allegations of his team that like was off are somewhat true, but the allegations on MrBeast are not. Yeah. Yeah.
Very loose evidence. It's kind of the reason I didn't cover these other videos he made, because a lot of it was based on hearsay or anecdotal proof from anonymous sources. And I think this sloppiness happened because once this guy got the attention, he really wanted to keep it and tried to continue to come out with damning piece of information after damning piece of information. And I do feel like that's how you start to reach for something that's not really there. And now, due to his botchy journalism, another guy is exposing Dogpack. He made a movie-length video debunking a bunch of the claims from Dawson's 3-part series, and he essentially paints Dawson
on it, bro. Cause he's saying they trying to say that he worse than me. They trying to make him seem worse than the niggas that like hating on him. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to say I'm a bad person, but he's even worse than me. Even though he like made schools for like the less fortunate and gave water to some countries, he worse than me. He worse than me.
To be like that little annoying bastard in The Incredibles, who turns evil after Mr. Incredible basically told him to fuck off.
You're that kid from the fan club.
I'm your #1 fan!
I mean, he really does make it seem like Dawson was this disgruntled employee who was hell-bent on bringing down the MrBeast empire.
Dawson French is an ex-MrBeast employee who worked there for about 3 weeks, and after being fired, made or worked on videos filled with lies about MrBeast.
Claiming that he only worked for 20 days at the MrBeast sweatshop, but that in that time, Soggy says that Dawson was rude, he was disruptive, and apparently not receptive to demands or training from higher-level employees.
I will say it was a little uncomfortable with just me and him in the office. He gave weird vibes for sure, and I felt like very uncomfortable working in the office with him.
He goes on to talk about the outlandish video ideas that he was allegedly pitching.
His video ideas he came up with while working at MrBeast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. It's like maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for vasectomies and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
Unironically, like I was getting pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence.
So wait, no. So he comes up with like the bad ideas, the worst ideas I have ever seen. Talking about let's give 1,000 women breasts and vasectomies, and then we'll have Jimmy do all the drugs in the world and we'll promote that to kids. Nigga, this is a kids channel. Nigga, MrBeast does this for kids in every other age. But what is you talking about? What kind of idea even is that, bro? Bro, and then he trying to make MrBeast seem like the bad guy. Nigga, your idea was just terrible, and you got fired, and now you hating on him.
Jimmy himself. I guess it's a meme of a fake video saying I filled my brother's house with and bought him a new one.
Oh, gross.
And even plays a leaked recording where Dawson was apparently begging for his job back after he was informed that he was being terminated.
The only reason why MrBeast is getting hate and allegations is because other people are hating that he's doing good things for other people. Like that's what it is.
And I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And I am telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong.
Fire me, and I want
to back after he was informed that he was being terminated.
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And I am telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance? I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time. I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what happened.
Now, most of the information he is relying on is from former or current MrBeast employees, so I would take everything with a huge grain of salt, because obviously there's a high chance they're going to be extremely biased towards Jimmy and against Dawson, who has hurt the MrBeast brand to the tune of millions of dollars. This guy even talks about the fact that
the people that get disassociated with MrBeast always want to down him or have allegations that down him, and people look at those people be like, oh, MrBeast is just a terrible person.
Videos caused them to allegedly lose a lot of funding from sponsors pulling the plug on their agreements.
Actively, partners have pulled out because of these videos. There are people who will not walk or will have to delay in them walking because of the videos that Dogpack made.
Either way, Soggy really hammers the point down that Dawson was obsessed with MrBeast.
Now we're starting to see multiple patterns here. Hundreds of obsessive posts and comments on the MrBeast subreddit.
And like he had his Joker origin moment the day he was fired.
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge. Yes.
And that on that day he became the real manipulator controlling the narrative for the general public. He also dives into some of the more questionable methods Dogpack allegedly used to get his information for his videos, like allegedly recording phone calls without consent that were eventually used as evidence in his video.
You know, I have a friend who, you know, I worked with plenty of times outside of MrBeast. Just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on him. And then the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, Dogpack releases like a 12 million view video where, you know, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice, and if you know me, like, you know it's me.
And I do want to be clear here, when I say that Soggy does success.
If I'm getting fired from MrBeast for my actions, then there's something wrong with me. There's got to be something wrong with me, and I have to look at myself. If I got fired from a position and job that is trying to better the world and give money to niggas that need the money. Like, what?
Successfully paint this negative image of Dawson and debunk several of his claims.
Like,
but at the same time, he's very biased towards MrBeast, often giving him the benefit of the doubt in most situations.
But it wasn't this top master plan by Jimmy to intentionally hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business. You lied about them allegedly sleeping on a luxurious production yacht. No, they were forced to stay on a rusty barge for about an hour for their own safety and went back on their raft as soon as a life-threatening lightning storm passed. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature if they gave you formal consent to do so, and it doesn't devalue the signature.
And while these various employees given their testimonies could be telling the truth, the perception of events is easily skewed when someone is depending on a person for their livelihood. And it's pretty apparent to me listening to these interviews that this whole situation and Dawson himself have been widely discussed by these employees over the last couple of months. And just because Dawson might have had an ulterior motive doesn't necessarily mean that some of the allegations against MrBeast were not warranted or were beyond question. The problem is, once you get caught in one lie, or at least stretching the truth to support some sort of damning allegation, you really start to lose your credibility, and after a while no one is going to listen to the things that you say. Now with that being said, most of the things he debunks here, I personally do not care about. I mean, like, let's say MrBeast did this illegal giveaway to run up the bag. I really don't care. If the videos are fake or not, I couldn't give a damn. And that's really the case when either of these guys were talking about it. To me, I really just care about criminal or like immoral activity going on. And the main thing that Soggy calls Dawson out on that I felt was pretty serious was when he and Rosanna lied about illegal images of children being shared in a MrBeast group chat by Chris back in the day.
This isn't a work chat.
Yeah, and the message reads, so this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Ava thought that this was possibly a 13-year-old and she's posting it in a work chat. A lot of people on the internet are labeling this picture as Ivanka Trump. I can't find any definitive proof that it is, but
it looks like her.
It does look like her, but like, yeah, it looks bad.
Where's the
two grown ass people sitting here capping about another grown man that's has more bands, has done more for the earth, has done more for everybody, and they just hating it. They just sitting there hating on the nigga for no reason at all, cause they can't do what he doing. Just say that, bruh. Just say that. Just say you want to be him, bro. Just say you want to be him. Just say it and move on, bro. Just say that.
Dogpack and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture as clickbait for their fucking thumbnail.
Excuse me, sir, would you like to earn income while you learn how to code?
Yeah, dog. Tell me more about that.
Dev slopes helps you.
What the fuck is that?
Stephen A.B. tested 3 versions of it.
As we know, Chris had a ton of these nasty chat rooms going on, so this was really no surprise. And in the alleged messages from Chris back then, it's clear that he thought this was CP and he wanted to share it to everybody. But more research will actually tell you that it was a picture of an 18-year-old Ivanka Trump.
I'm sorry, but if I'd see my friends actively ranting about pedophiles and bashing them, I'd actively be convinced to not think they're a pedophile when they send degenerate memes like this. I just cringe on the inside while thinking that they have a degenerate sense of Zoomer humor. Even Trey Yates, the person who leaked the work chat to Dogpack and Rosanna, refers to those memes as a weird thing Ava found funny in the past, instead of confirmed pedophile messages.
And I feel like this is where Soggy really puts his cape on for MrBeast. I mean, look, it's my opinion that Jimmy knew that his friend was a sick
became a moderator in the Discord chat where he was aware of the not safe for work, sexually explicit memes and images being posted.
I didn't know that he was a mod.
Yeah.
They lived together for quite some time. They had nasty, degenerate, borderline illegal images hanging up in their apartment living room. MrBeast allegedly praised the disgusting artist who created and who Chris paid for the degenerate art.
And here's some messages of people in the Discord saying, I did not expect to see memes and I should have expected knowing Beast likes Shadman. So this is like a random fan in the Discord who knows that Beast likes Shadman.
I just really think that he knew his boy was on some weird shit, yet he decided to keep him around year after year after year. I mean, to suggest that he had no idea that any of the crazy things he did were going on from the...
Like, if you didn't know your homeboy, imagine your closest homeboy of years. You living together with that nigga. You doing everything with that nigga. You tight like that. And you didn't know what the fuck he was doing behind closed doors. Come to find out years later, he did that shit. What the fuck you supposed to do? You cut him off. And that's exactly what he did. You cannot, you can't just be like, oh, your homeboy did this, so we gonna bash you for that shit. We get, they was together for years and shit, and Chris was doing that. But, bro, you just can't, shit on MrBeast for that. MrBeast didn't know he was doing that shit. MrBeast didn't know. If he did know, he wouldn't have been in the videos back then, bro.
Artwork to the Discord servers and the other messages is just complete bullshit. Now, one thing Soggy does a great job of is debunking the claims about the video contestants not receiving proper compensation for their videos they were involved in, and other small discrepancies that Dawson had with MrBeast videos, and the validity of some of these competitions and giveaways. Let me be beyond clear when I say that this video is very well made. I do think the interviews he did with various people were pretty well conducted, and he did a very compelling job framing his argument here. But I can't help but find some of the things about this video to be a little bit strange. Like the fact that MrBeast DM'd Pyro Cynical and other drama-adjacent YouTubers essentially asking them to put a megaphone on this exonerating message that Soggy delivered.
I got a DM from MrBeast. Beforehand, I said, hey, can I show this on a stream or in a video? And he basically said, I'd prefer if you didn't, but if you felt like it was necessary, then sure, go for it. So you can see the actual DM here. He's saying there's been a lot of disinformation around me these past few months, and I feel like Soggy did a good job hitting a lot of it with facts. Would love if you covered it.
He messages me, hey, I don't know if you've seen this video, but I know you've covered me in the past, and it actually proves a lot of stuff said about me was untrue. I'd appreciate it if you covered it. And he sent me the link to this video, and then he followed me. And honestly, it just feels like he's trying to do damage control because he looked so bad this summer. And it feels like he's trying to follow people and message them so that they're like, oh my God, MrBeast followed me. I don't want to talk about him.
And he also commented on the video itself with glee. And now it has come to light via an interview with Chud Logic that Soggy was speaking closely to MrBeast's right-hand man Dustin during the making of this video, and that he apparently wanted Jimmy himself to do an interview and make an appearance in his video, but that he decided against it because he felt like the employees would be less biased.
I realized maybe I shouldn't interview Jimmy and I should completely leave him out of this. Yeah, Jimmy won't be unbiased, and his employees are obviously also not completely unbiased, they work at the company. But it's still different, you know?
Oh, give me a break, dude. You and I both know that that's a huge crock of shit. I guarantee this guy would have loved to do an interview with MrBeast. I think that's what everyone wants right now. And I just love how he tried to paint this guy Dawson as the vengeful, disgruntled employee over and over again, and say that he's biased for that reason.
He is incompetent, petty, a liar, deceptive, and after all this, I just know that he is a disgruntled employee.
But now he can do the mental gymnastics to not apply that same logic to the people still working at the company? Like, is there not some sort of logical fallacy here? Soggy even straight up admits that this dude Dustin flew him out like a Miami hoe to do these interviews.
You obviously flew to America, right?
Yeah.
Did you cover those costs yourself, or did MrBeast in any way pay?
Bro, starting from zero in JavaScript can be harsh.
I'm gonna be honest on that. So I offered to do interviews to Dustin, and so I was the one who offered that, who wanted to do interviews. I reached out to Dustin about that. After he reached out to me, he said that he wanted to do an interview and maybe try to ask some other employees if they wanted to do interviews. But since it was last moment and very expensive, Dustin, as far as I know, paid for those. And not on a MrBeast card, because when I got at like the hotel, which they said that it was on the card of like literally his name, like his personal card, not non-company cards.
Now that makes me think that he might have an ulterior motive, especially the fact that he never discloses this in his video makes him look really bad.
I don't know if I maybe missed it. Was that said in the video, or is it somewhere in your description, just to really get it clear that happened?
No, it's not in the video.
And look, I'm not saying that MrBeast was directly involved in the making of this video, but I would not be surprised if he was in someone's ear on the team helping them craft this narrative, handing over a bit of evidence his team had been stacking to debunk these claims. This is all my speculation, of course. You don't think that he was aware that his current employees were being interviewed for something, and that he wasn't aware that a positive video was being made about him? Also understand that MrBeast is obsessed with YouTube and his brand. He's seen all the dog pack videos. He's seen all the more Pegasus coverage on the situation. And I really do feel like this could be his indirect way of fighting back. I mean, begging people to spread positive PR about him is very sketchy to say the least. And now even Soggy is saying that that is exactly what Jimmy is trying to do, and that it apparently makes him mad because he claims that he was
stay consistent with the streams, twin. I'm gonna try my best, bro. I gotta move stuff around, get my schedule right. I'm getting right.
And trying to be a shield for MrBeast. Although I personally feel that that's exactly what this video was. Like, I don't know what else this guy expected, but he was caping for MrBeast for an hour and a half. I don't know, I just think that in this situation, no one is exactly trustworthy, from Dawson to Soggy, and of course MrBeast. I don't trust him at all. I don't know, when it comes to drama, there's just all these crazy twists and turns. And honestly, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. I don't think we'll ever get like a genuine statement from MrBeast. I don't think he'll ever do an interview in the future where they even allow like the person interviewing him to candidly ask about this, because I think he'll just shut all that shit down. Either way, I do want to know what you guys think about this entire situation down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you,
I just honestly feel like that whole situation is just something that like MrBeast should just move on with, right? How much MrBeast pay, bro, for MrBeast got warriors in the streets, bro. He got warriors in the streets. Nah, I don't feel like MrBeast, he not gonna fall out. Like, this situation's not gonna make him, like, his situation any worse, to be honest. Cause, like, he got money, he's still doing good, and honestly, everybody love him, to be honest, cause he's doing good things for people in the earth at the same time. And then it's just niggas hating. They just hating. It's honestly, they just hating. That's all it is. It's just people hating.